To respond to constantly changing needs around the world and in the Church, popes issue a variety of documents. They can show the limits of the Catholic faith, challenge controversial opinions, encourage or discourage different initiatives in the Church, and clarify the Pope's priorities. However, not all documents carry the same weight. Among the most important are apostolic constitutions, encyclicals, and apostolic exhortations, followed by other apostolic letters, motu proprios, papal rescripts, decretal letters, and apostolic briefs.
Todos son actos del Papa.
They're all acts from the Pope, so they carry the authority of being the Pope's acts. The content of all these documents isn't always normative. They aren't always laws. Sometimes they're, as I say, doctrinal things. Apostolic constitutions are important in creating new policies or laws. They deal with doctrinal or disciplinary matters concerning a local church or the church as a whole. Encyclicals are longer reflections on important topics. They are meant to be read widely by all men of goodwill, not just Catholics. Encyclicals by Pope Francis include Laudato Si and Lumen Fidei.
Las encíclicas son cartas.
Encyclicals are letters, usually of pastoral or theological content. The Pope directs them to the whole world. Apostolic exhortations are often confused with encyclicals because both deal with similar themes. The difference lies more in the target audience and doctrinal weight of the two.
Son exhortaciones apostólicas, por ejemplo.
Apostolic exhortations are, for example, all those the Pope makes after all bishop synods. In theory, it is of a lower doctrinal level than an encyclical. Apostolic letters are written in response to a specific need or addressed to a specific group of people. They are not legislative but pastoral in nature and usually deal with social concerns. An example is Pope Francis's recent apostolic letter on the meaning of the nativity scene, Admirabile Signum. A motu proprio, translating to by one's own initiative, is a legislative document or decree dealing with specific issues relevant to the Church in a given time in history. They are made on the initiative of the Pope himself.
Se da una razón de esto
The reason for this, for the law, is explained with different articles. It deals with a certain theme, for example, motu proprio, vos estis lux mundi. Papal rescripts usually answer a petition placed before the Roman Curia or the Pope himself. They are meant to make new laws or modify existing ones. In response to petitions from victims of sexual abuse, Pope Francis recently issued a rescript to abolish the pontifical secret in such cases involving minors.
Es una ley del Papa.
It's a law the Pope formally makes. Normally, the cardinal goes to the Pope and presents him with a document. The Pope signs the document to approve it, and that's it. Decretal letters are reserved for solemn matters, such as dogmatic definitions and canonizations. Lowest on the hierarchy are apostolic briefs. They deal with relatively less important matters. For example, a brief could be a simple greeting to an organization. With the Pope's countless daily activities, it's not surprising that he rarely writes the documents himself. Instead, they might be drafted by a committee and then approved by the Pope. Although not officially part of the collection of papal documents, the Pope's tweets seem to be the most widely read of his writings.
Since 1940, the Vatican has had its very own Philatelic and Numismatic Office, occupied with selling exclusively made stamps and coins, produced annually for the smallest state in the world, the Holy See. While the stamps are not printed behind Vatican walls, there is a process involved in creating each one. The director of the Philatelic and Numismatic Office explains this starts inside the Vatican city-state.
Per ogni francobollo, una volta approvato il
For
tema,
each stamp, the first step is looking for an image relating to the chosen theme. After you've chosen an image, which may be an artistic image, or one created by an artist specifically for the theme, it's scanned here by the graphic studio inside the office. Then words are written over the stamp for the particular occasion from the computer. After that's finished, the product is sent to a printing house, where one test is done before all the stamps are printed. Some of the stamps picture saints or remember martyrs who've given their life for the faith. Others mark important years for the Church or special moments for the Pope. While the stamps originated in 1852, the coins are even older. The money, particularly for the Vatican and for the Pontifical State, date back to the beginning of the 700s. Their creation process is only slightly different than that of the stamps.
una volta approvato il disegno deve realizzare il gesto.
Once the design is drawn, the artist must make a chalk model from this drawing. It's a sort of sculpture, 2 millimeters thick, that models in plaster the design that was on the paper. Once the plaster is authorized, it's preserved in the Italian department that produces the coins. Then, in a very technical procedure, the plaster model is stamped, and then from there, turned into a coin. Over the years, the coins and medallions from past popes have been preserved in the Vatican, as well as the specially made annual coins. Mauro confirmed collectors took an even greater interest when Italy's lira currency changed to the euro in 2002.
Sì, è un collezionismo diverso, anche
The
se
collections are a bit different, although it's true that many stamp collectors also collect coins and vice versa. They often go alongside one another. The difference is coin collectors are usually a bit more attentive to history and culture. Collectors also tend to be more regional. The Vatican explained the countries who are most invested in the coins and stamps are Italy and Germany. Yet sales seem to be booming in general, with interest from all over the world. Each year, more than 9 million euros are earned from the sales. But starting in 2020, after 80 years of work in the same office, they're being divided in a new Vatican reorganization process. Now, there will be 3 offices instead of the one.
è stata fatta una legge.
A new law was made by the state that changes the distribution in this sector. For this, a state department has been established, which will create the coins. The stamps were moved to the Vatican Post Office, and the final department that's been established will deal with the philatelic and numismatic marketing and sales. With this change, they hope to increase production, keep sales up, and continue the religious focus of the Vatican's collection of stamps and coins, while being able to cater to everyone. It's another way of transmitting the faith, even if through the smallest stamp on the outside of a letter.